Hello everyone, this is Nick Ezrin from COM4224 Public Opinion class, and this is a video for assignment 2, video interview with an opinion leader. And my opinion leader for today is Dato Dr. Nick Zamri, the CEO of MPDT Capital Berhad, which is a company, a water desalination company based in Kuantan and Forest City, Johor. So hello Dato.
Hello.
Hi. So the first question is, what was your first initial idea of coming up with this water desalination? Why do you see water desalination as a solution for Malaysia with regard to its water crisis in a couple of years?
Malaysia have been having water shortage for quite a while, and water in Malaysia depends on rain. However, desalination does not depend on rain. Desalination depends on 97% of the world water, that is the seawater. Now, seawater have never dried anywhere in the world.
Right.
And currently there are 28,000 large and small desalination installation, particularly in the Middle East, Africa, the Americas, and even China and Australia. Currently, Singapore have 3 plants, and they're putting up another 3 plants. Now, sometimes people do not understand that industry uses a lot of water. Particularly, you look at an example. For example, you look at Rapid in Johor. They use 230 million liter per day. Imagine if there are 3 of such plants, that will take almost the whole of Johor Bahru water for potable water.
Yeah.
Now the industry are using potable water. This is a wrong thing that Malaysia and quite a number of many countries are using. They should actually be using industrial water. So they take potable water at a cheap rate and then reprocess it and then use it for them. And this is the situation where the people have to go through rationing during drought season. And for that particular reason, I realized that desalination would be an answer to the current problem of Malaysia.
Right.
But we are to fit into the industrial water side, and then the government or the concessionaires take away that particular water and give it to the public. And by that, the rationing need not happen anymore, because there will probably be sufficient water in Malaysia for the potable water side, where human consumption, but the shortage is actually for the industries.
Right. So it's mainly based on the industries. And your opinion, why does it take countries such as the Middle East, Israel, Singapore already has been doing this water desalination process for a while? Why do you think Malaysia is taking so long to go into?
No, it all depends on the water rate. In Malaysia, the water rate is very low, and because of that, and the government or many people thought that the myth of desalination being expensive is one of the myths that is wrong. In Malaysia, we have a lot of gas, natural gas. Malaysia is one of the largest exporter of natural gas. So in my situation, I will use natural gas instead of electricity.
Right.
Now, natural gas costs 60% less, 70% less than what if you use electricity. This is the alternative that people do not see, which I saw it some 3-4 years back, and this makes it the desalination process in Malaysia feasible, but the rate should be a little higher than most states. In Malaysia, Johor and Selangor and Penang have a good rate for industrial, and furthermore, these are the states that are actually industrial-based state, particularly electronic, petrochemical, and the like. Now, Singapore uses it because they do not want to be dependent on rainwater as well, and not dependent on Malaysian water. By 2050, they expect 30% of Singapore water to be used based on desalination.
I see. Okay, so final question, and since this topic is with regard to public opinion and how media portrayal of certain issues, may I ask what is the media, or how is the media portraying the issue of water desalination, and what could be better? You know, what do you think could be better in terms of?
Currently, media is not doing anything. They are just making noise about the shortage of water, why the government is not doing anything, and so on. But the media should play a role by actually taking into consideration desalination, do a study. But I am emphasizing here that the media should actually tell the public that water can be cheap if the industries do not use potable water. So the media can play a big role here by stating that if assuming that the industry uses desalinated water, then water price of Malaysia should not be increased for the public use. So this is what the media fail to see, or nobody have actually done a detailed investigation on this situation. But recently, Petronas CEO reminded Malaysia that they have a lot of gas, and I believe that TMB will probably be starting to use gas, and by doing so, the power cost in Malaysia should actually reduce. Right. But I don't see that yet.
Okay.
However, as far as desalination is concerned, using gas will probably reduce the cost of water tremendously. However, I will re-emphasize that the water that is coming from desalination should be diverted to industries, and the industry should release the water that they're using from the public pipe for the consumption of the people.